Thanks for joining us at 5. I'm John Adams. About 51 hours remain for you to make your voice heard in the Oregon primary. And election offices across the state have put in work to make sure casting your vote is quick and easy. Earlier this afternoon in Clackamas County, the elections office held special Saturday hours. Voters were able to get a replacement ballot and get help voting or get any election questions answered. The county clerk says the goal is to have every person who is eligible to vote do so hassle-free.
We want you to use your voice and to vote, and one of the key ingredients of an election is citizen participation, and that is up to you.
She says as of Friday night, 15% of eligible voters had cast their ballots. If you missed today's event, you can still drop off your ballot at one of the 25 different sites across the county. A reminder, your ballot must be turned in or in the mail and postmarked by 8 Tuesday night. KGW will be monitoring and updating election results all night long. Check out our website, plus KGW Plus, or streaming and download our KGW app. We'll turn you now to weather. Some on and off showers across the Portland area today, including a huge rainstorm just minutes before our show. Let's bring in meteorologist Joe Ranieri now. Is this rain going to stick around, Joe?
Well, that rain showers kind of caught all of our attention in the newsroom. It's kind of fun to see. Yeah, heavy downpours, and those downpours, John, will carry over into the next couple of hours, depending on where you're at. It's mainly throughout the northern part of the metro area. You travel south away from the city, you're not going to be seeing much in terms of rainfall. As we take a peek out here on the radar, picking up some spotty showers near Astoria and all the way down into south along Tillamook. But south of Tillamook into Lincoln City and Newport, you are going to be dry the rest of this Saturday night. Here's a live look now over in Astoria. Temperature of 57 degrees. Winds are pretty light coming in out of the west, and we still have some dark clouds above the golf course. Hopefully the golfers wrapped up their round out there at the reserve and a low. Temperature right now of 58 degrees. Pretty much dry over in Washington County right now. And here's a live look in downtown Portland. Temperature of 60 degrees. We should be close to 70 degrees for this time of year. We'll see 70 back in the picture, but it won't come until Monday. We're going to be looking at another round of some cooler conditions heading into tomorrow. Throughout the morning hours, we'll be looking at a few clouds here and there, but I think the chance to see precipitation fall won't happen until as early as noon and until about 3-4 o'clock. There's about a 3-4 hour window tomorrow where we could be seeing some light showers, but again, it is going to be just that light. I'll talk more about your detailed forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, Joe, thank you. New tonight, a Gresham High School teacher placed on leave after reports of inappropriate behavior towards students. Now Gresham police are investigating at Centennial High School. The allegations were reported to school staff earlier this week. We've reached out to the district for more information. An alert tonight, Portland police want you to keep an eye out for this man. They say 53-year-old George Klein, who sometimes goes by Eric, was last seen May 6th, and the family is worried about his well-being. He has mental health issues and is not his own guardian. His last known location was the emergency department at the Oregon Health and Science University Hospital. If you've seen Klein, call 911. A rural stretch of roads in Clackamas County are back open after a fire late last night. Around 10, crews were called to a barn fire on southeast Tin Ike and Thomas Roads in Sandy. They found the barn fully engulfed in flames with the fire spreading toward nearby trees. Shortly after midnight, crews cleared the scene and opened roads back up. It took help from multiple agencies, including the Coast Guard, to get a runaway boat under control that had thrown its owner overboard. Crews were called after 1 to the Cathedral Park boat ramp in North Portland. By the time they got there, the man had been rescued by a Good Samaritan, but the boat was still running circles in the river. After several tries, they were able to lasso the boat by the motor and shut it off. KGW is continuing to celebrate Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. Today, our Sydney Dorner spoke with families at the Portland Japanese School on how this immersive program keeps them close to their roots.
That's right. Each Saturday, Hazelbrook Middle School in Tualatin transforms from an everyday middle school to a learning environment of all things Japanese culture. Hidenori Oishi lived in Japan until he was 19 before moving to the U.S. Once he decided to raise a family in Beaverton, he became dedicated to making sure his children had strong connections to his birthplace.
Not sending my kids to Japanese school is not an option. because I always have a fear that once I do that, they're gonna lose their language.
Oishi has been sending all his kids to Portland Japanese school since they were 5. His daughter Yuki, now 15, says she wouldn't be the student she is today without the program.
It's taught me a lot of time management because it is hard balancing like my regular high school work and Japanese school work.
The Saturday school serves K through 12. Established in 1971 by the Japanese Business Association of Portland and supported by the Japanese government, who ships textbooks to the school.
You get to know a whole different country and like culture because it's not just the words, it's like more music and all like the movies that you can more understand because you know the language.
Students say the school keeps them adjusted to both American and Japanese culture, hoping to be a bridge between both countries when they grow up.
I want to make Japanese culture, language as a unique, Pokemon card in the world, in a way.
Cool.
But in order for us to do that, we have to, carry over all those language over to next generation.
Sydney Dorner, KGW News.
Portland's Rose Festival is less than 1 week away, which means decorating the floats is fully underway. Today, parents and children were invited to the Fred Meyer Junior Parade Float Building Workshop in Northeast Portland. At least 20 families signed up and showed up today for what's considered the longest running junior parade in the U.S., according to a Rose Festival spokesperson. Portland Girl Scout troops were among the groups volunteering today. Here's what one member shared is her favorite part after decorating for the parade for a third time.
It's definitely, I love decorating it, but my very favorite part is when we get to like walk through the streets and everybody is like, we love your cookies, or like they just like waving, and sometimes I see people I know, which is really fun too because I can just like wave at them.
The junior parade is set to start in the Hollywood district on June 5th at 1 p.m. Survivors of Portland's Vanport neighborhood gathered today to kick off the 9th Vanport Mosaic Festival. The festival honors the residents who survived the flood of 1948, the displaced Native American communities, and people of Japanese descent who were incarcerated in the area during World War II. The event will feature history presentations, art exhibits, and more about the history of Vanport. Carolyn Hilton was 8 years old when she moved to the community with her family. She remembers driving away from Vanport on the day of the flood in May 1948.
I looked out the back window of the car and it was just a big wall of water coming. It wasn't real close, but it was coming fast. And by the time we got where we could be safe, we jumped out of the car and water was about up to my knees at that time.
The festival runs through June the 1st. Well, today marks 44 years since the eruption of Mount St. Helens. For the second straight year, visitors can't get as close to the volcano as they used to. The state still needs to repair a highway damaged by a landslide. There are plenty of other spots to commemorate the anniversary or honor those who were killed. The Science and Learning Center at Coldwater Ridge is the next closest visitor center. It's open from 10 to 4 tomorrow. Starting next Friday, it'll be open daily through the summer.